Inena's hand sent her to the forbidden river, but she found favor in the mermaid's eyes instead. Inena's hands knew that no one is supposed to go to the forbidden river after dawn, but she still sent innocent Inena there. She just wanted to end the poor girl. She sent her there to fetch her water, even if they had so many drums filled with water. Inena had given up. She was supposed to be scared like any normal person, because according to the elders in the village, a vengeful water goddess lives inside that particular river, and it is the same river that her aunt had sent her to fetch water from. There were other safe rivers in the village, but she chose that particular river. Inena sat in front of the river and she started crying instead of fetching water and running away. She was tired of everything. She just wished her parents didn't leave her all alone in this wicked world with her two-faced aunt. She remembered when her parents were alive, how they treated her like a queen in the city. She got anything she wanted, even before she asked for it. She never even used to walk. She remembered how nice her parents treated her aunt, gave her everything. But now that her parents were gone, her aunt became a guardian. It has been so difficult for her. She sat in front of the river, crying and missing her parents, who suddenly died many years ago when she was just 6 years old. She sat helplessly in front of the river until she saw the strangest thing ever, a mermaid. She was still lost in thought. She didn't realize what she was saying is very real. She thought she was hallucinating. And she heard, "How dare you?" The mermaid yelled. "How dare you come to the river at this time of the day? You have the audacity to come here, so now you have to face the consequences." The mermaid held a rod up to strike Inena. However, Inena didn't budge. She was ready for anything that was coming her way, which kind of shocked the mermaid. Inena started singing a sorrowful song. Even the mermaid's anger was suppressed because the wordings of the song was so pitiful. The wordings goes, "My parents were taking care of me. I was so young when they left me. I don't deserve this tough life." Surprisingly, the mermaid also started crying with Inena. Inena became confused. "Why are you crying?" she asked the mermaid. The mermaid then revealed that a child was also taken away from her many years ago, and her song just made her remember it. She said her child was taken by humans who wanted to experiment, which is why she waged war on anyone who comes to fetch water from a river. Inena consoled the mermaid, and the mermaid asked her for her own story. Inena then explained everything to her, how her parents mysteriously died, and now she had no other option but to leave the city and come live with her aunt in the village. She said she didn't know that her aunt is a very wicked person in disguise, as she has been pretending when her parents were still alive. Just a week after her father's death, her aunt sold all of her parents' properties in the city and she used it to buy a house in the village. She revealed to the mermaid that her aunt used to be so nice to her until she clocked 8. The mermaid was interested in Inena's story and she asked her what happened. And Inena said, one day, she, her aunt, and her aunt's child, Chioma, were sitting in front of her house, and a seer passed. The old seer saw her and said, "Oh, she's a glorious child." But she didn't say anything about Chioma, her aunt's child. Her aunt ran after the seer to ask about her own daughter. She couldn't hear what they were discussing, But ever since that day, her hands grew bitter and wicked towards her. She just became so wicked. She made her do all of the chores in the house, which wasn't even a problem to her because she has already adapted to doing so many work. So she didn't even care. But recently, she fell in love with the chief's son. He loves her and she loves him too, and they do things together. One day, as they were talking in front of their house, her aunt came out and told him that he cannot get married to her and he should choose her own daughter, Chioma, instead. Nnamdi, the chief's son, refused, which is why her aunt wants to end her by sending her to the Forbidden River so she can get her own daughter married to the chief's son. What a story, the mermaid said. She felt so much pity for Inena, and she dipped her hand inside the river. She brought out a pot. She told Inena to lock her door and break the pot once she gets home. The mermaid thought to herself that if Inena should become rich, she won't suffer anymore. Inena thanked the mermaid and left without even knowing what the pot was about. And when she got home, her wicked aunt and cousin were so shocked to see her. They were so pained to see her alive. They couldn't believe their eyes. They thought they had everything well planned out. They thought the river would have swallowed her for coming at that time. And so Chioma can get married to the chief's son, Nnamdi. They've started preparing for Chioma and Nnamdi's wedding. They were so pained to see her alive. They just eased angrily when they saw her. They were pained that their plan failed. Inena entered her room. As the mermaid instructed, she broke the pot, and what she saw was so shocking. Her entire room was filled with gold, real gold. She was so happy. With this amount of gold, she's going to be the richest person in the village. She started packing and packing. She packed all of the gold and she hid it because she knows that if her aunt sees it, she will take it all away from her. Inena journeyed to the neighboring village and exchanged the gold for money. She bought lands and she started building her own house, unknown to her aunt and cousin. Her aunt was still maltreating her and making her do all sorts of unnecessary things. Inena didn't tell anyone about her riches, not even her lover Nnamdi. She had it at the back of her mind that once they officially get married, she's going to tell him how rich she has become. Soon, Nnamdi and his people came to ask for Inena's hand in marriage. Inena was so happy. Finally, she's going to leave the house and the people that have only caused her pain and humiliation since she was a kid. Finally, it is over, she said to herself. The day of her wedding came. Her husband-to-be and his people were there. She was already dressed. Her aunt was dressed too. The elders were seated and she was waiting for her to be called by them so the ceremony can start. After so much talking, they told her aunt to go and bring Inena so they can start the ceremony. They went inside. They gave Inena a drink to drink. Even if Inena didn't want to drink that drink, they forced her to drink it, saying it is going to give her strength, as she hasn't eaten anything. That drink made Inena sleep off. They took her clothes and veil, and Chioma wore it. That was how Chioma ended up getting married to the chief's son, Nnamdi. And by the time they found out, it was kind of late. They had given Nnamdi the wedding drink and he has drank it as a sign that he has accepted the wedding. Chioma eventually removed her veil and she started faking tears I am sorry. I didn't want to do it, but Inina forced me to get married to Inamdi. She said she's not ready to be his wife. Inamdi was so pained he started crying. He couldn't believe his own eyes, and for some reason, he felt like it's a conspiracy against Inina. He went into her room and saw her sleeping. It was then that he realized that it is a plan of Chioma and her mother. He exposed them to the elders. The elders reprimanded them for what they did. Inamdi refused to accept the marriage. He refused to take Chioma as his wife. But the elders said that nothing can be done as the ceremony was completed. By the time Inina woke up, the wedding has been done. When Ahan told her that Chioma got married to Inamdi instead of her, Inina could not believe her ears. She cried her eyes out. She couldn't take it. She locked herself in her room and cried for days. Her aunt did not even care about her at all. Once again, she has cheated her. Inina angrily packed her bags and left the house. Her aunt saw her leaving, but said nothing. She laughed, saying finally she's gone. What that seer saw isn't true. She won't have a better marriage than my child, and she won't be more glorious than her. Elena's aunt was so cold-hearted. She thought she did her child good by getting her married to the chief's son. But she doesn't know that the chief's son is going to show her daughter Pepe. Inena bought a house and she started living alone. She tried to heal from the pain and betrayal her aunt caused her. Soon, news spread round the village about Inena's sudden riches. People said she has 10 mansions. People applauded her as she gave to the poor and sent them to school. The whole villagers were singing her praises, and it got to the ears of her wicked aunt. She was confused. It is not possible. Where and how will she get that kind of money? I must see it with my own eyes, her wicked aunt thought to herself. So one evening, she went into the street in search of her niece. After so much walking around, she eventually found her niece's house. She entered and was so shocked. When she saw Inena, the first thing she did was to ask her where she got so much money from. She didn't even ask her how she's doing. Inena, please show me the way. But Inena ignored her. Please, aunt, you need to leave my house immediately. I am a very busy person. And seeing that Inena didn't care about her, she started playing the emotional blackmail card. Inena, how can you talk to your auntie like that? I have loved and cared for you ever since you were a little girl. And this is how you repay me? Don't you know that if I did not take you in, you'll be living in an orphanage and they are going to do so many bad things to you? She said so many things, trying to make Inena feel bad. Well, it worked on Inena. Inena showed her a gold room, and she told her that the day she went to the Forbidden River, she met a mermaid in the river, and the mermaid gave her a pot. She didn't even wait for Inena to finish talking. Her aunt went to the Forbidden River and she started singing, shouting for the mermaid to come and help her and give her her own gold pot. When the mermaid eventually came out, she was confused and surprised as to how this lady knew that she gave someone a gold pot. She figured out the woman might be Inena's wicked aunt, seeing how rude she is. And without talking much, the mermaid gave her the pot of gold. And she left without even saying thank you. She called her daughter, Chioma, and she told her daughter everything. Chioma was glad. She told her mother that she doesn't even want to return to her in-laws' house after they become rich because her husband Unamdi has been so mean to her. They broke the pot open and the house became flooded with water. there was no escape. They thought they were going to see gold everywhere, but instead, they drowned to death. Inena, on the other hand, lived a life freely as a philanthropist, helping people become the better version of themselves. The end. It is good to be good. You always reap what you sow. Thank you so much for watching this story. Please do not forget to like, share, and comment. And for more stories like this, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.